The Stock Father's going to do Real News Tuesdays a day early. Lately, there's been a lot of real news on Mondays. Shit, man. Mondays are like the real news day. So I'm seeing many Democrats crying Bloody Mary over the fact that the Supreme Court basically kept the law in place that's been there since the Constitution. This law applies to Democrats and Republicans and basically says you can't fakely accuse a president of a horse shit just because you don't like him or just because he's running against you in a political arena. You know damn straight that if the Supreme Court didn't do this, every Democrat ever elected president, the Republicans would try to put in jail. Every Republican ever elected president, the Democrats would try to put in jail. This is the crazy world we live in today. So thank God for the normal, smart Supreme Court. There's about 3 that are complete morons. There'll always be morons. These are the idiots that need to be replaced. But the rest, very smart people. We're talking about the future of this country. You can't let crazy politicians arrest their opponents who are running against them. You can't make up horseshit stories like saying that January 6th was some type of an insurrection caused by a president just because you said it was, not because he was convicted of it. You just can't do this. We are not a banana republic yet. We have a constitution that you have to abide by. And there are Democrats with their balls in an uproar. This is the usual losers. You know the losers. Chuck Schumer, AOC, Durbin. The usual dirtbag losers have a problem with actual real law. They want to change the laws, but they want to do it corruptly. And again, this is not me being political. I'm saying this is going to benefit the Democrats and the Republicans. So far, only a Republican has ever been subject to such a horrific bullshit horseshit. But you know, Democrats, you're next. And you want to be under the same scrutiny? You want your guy to be under the gun of going to jail? Of course you don't. No president should be afraid to act like a president and make smart decisions, but be afraid that they're going to go to jail for smart decisions. I applaud the Supreme Court. In fact, I thought the Supreme Court has sat on their ass. I didn't like at all the way they handled the 2020 election. I thought they sat on their ass during the 2020 election. They did not do their job. They should have got involved. And now they finally do something right. And some, not all, believe me, I'm sure there are a lot of smart Democrats out there. If I were a Democrat, I'd be jumping for joy that the Supreme Court made this clear and said, you cannot do this to presidents. They need to not have to fear going to jail when they are a president. Again, I've said this 1,000 times, and I know some of you don't want to hear this. What insurrection? The real insurrection happened at the riots, the protests, the peaceful protests, remember? Yeah, real peaceful. People dying, stores getting looted, cop cars being burned down, people getting beat up, animals out there raiding people's property, destroying people's property. That was peaceful. I watched January 6th. Looked very peaceful to me. I saw cops waving the people in, saying, hey, come on in, come on in. I don't know. President Trump offered Nancy, good old Nancy Pelosi, 10,000 armed forces. She said, nah, we don't need them. He was smart enough to realize when you have that many people, you might want to have protection. Again, Republicans like armed forces, protection, law and order. Democrats like chaos, riots, looting, no law and order. That is a fact. You know this. Catch and release only happens in Democratic states. It is the most absurd, ignorant, moronic thing ever. It is the reason why the current administration is down in the polls. That, the border, weaponizing the DOJ, weaponizing the FBI to go after a political opponent. This is the kind of shit, man, you hear happening in places like China, Russia. Not here in the US of A. So, in 2 days, we're going to celebrate, 3 days. The 4th of Julio, baby. Julio! And thank God that 3 days before the 4th of July, the Supreme Court is finally doing their job. Again, the three morons, once a moron, always a moron. Past idiot presidents put those three morons in. Morons are morons. You can't help stupid. You can't fix that. But the assholes that are calling for, we need more Supreme Court judges. Again, they want to rig everything. They want to rig the Supreme Court. Have you ever heard anything so absurd? What sick motherfuckers